Diana, my twin sister, asked for a photo of my beehive, so I did take a photo, but I thought a video would probably be more informative. You see these 5 hives, and then to the left is a Flow Hive. The 5 hives here are the hives that I have that I keep down here at the park, so I can help them pollinate their fruit trees and vegetables, and it provides nectar and pollen for my bees. All of these hives here, all 6 of them, have been populated from swarms that I caught for absolutely no cost this year other than my time. So I've got almost $900 or more worth of bees here that I didn't have to pay for. So I've got in a hive generally somewhere between 80 and 100,000 worker bees. I've got 5 hives here because the Flow Hive isn't mine. I've got basically 500,000 workers here making me honey. So as they get more and more honey, they need more and more storage, and that's why I put boxes on top of them. Now over here is a Flow Hive. Let me just show you the bottom first. This is the same setup here as over here in my hives. It's exactly identical. So we give them frames, and they've got wax plastic coating in here. The queen will lay eggs in there, and they will store food in there. And then when that gets full, you have the option of putting another one of these on top. You can see over here, we've got one here and one here, and there is no Flow Hive for honey collection on that one yet. So you start out with just a regular hive box, and then you add a Flow Hive. Now what this is, we put this on top, and you can see that these also have cells, and we can twist these cells so they break. Once the honey is filled in here and capped, we twist it, and it breaks the cells, and the honey comes running out, and then we collect it. Well, when I collect honey from my hives, I have to take the cells out, and I have to scrape off the caps of this capped honey, and then I have to put it in the spinner to spin the honey out of the cells. So I have to have a lot of boxes and either electric or manual spinner, or I have just 1 or 2 honey collection boxes, but then I'm harvesting honey several times a year instead of 1 time a year. So the advantage of my boxes is that I can just harvest honey in 1 day out of the year. The advantage of Langstroth hive is that you don't have to buy so much equipment, and you're harvesting 3, 4, or 5 times out of the year. So, and the cost is I think going to be less expensive with the Flow Hive, because I typically will have 2 boxes on the bottom where the bees and the queen live, and then I'll have 3, 4, or 5 boxes above it collecting honey. Each one of those boxes will hold about 50 pounds, 40 to 50 pounds of honey. I get quite a bit of honey from these hives. Hopefully this helps you understand the advantages and disadvantages of a Flow Hive and of the typical hive. You don't really need a lot of space for them. Let me step out here. These are facing east, and if you notice, the bees fly out maybe 2 feet out of the hive, and they fly about 20 feet up in the air, and then they take off. So they don't need much space out in front of the hives, and you only need a couple feet behind them so you can work behind the hives. Tell you what, your neighbors will love you if you have these in your backyard, because I just would always give my neighbors a pint of honey every year, and they let me know whenever they saw or heard of a swarm, so I could build up my hives. I had 5 of these hives in my backyard in a gated private community in Texas. And my neighbors always help me with finding swarms and protecting me from the people who wanted me to get rid of my quote-unquote livestock. I hope you guys get honeybees. They're wonderful to watch. I was actually just sitting here having a homemade raspberry and blackberry milkshake, sitting here on a lawn chair watching my honeybees. They're just fun to watch.